How did that not get rid of his music? Brink, are you around? Are you
Yeah.
able to cut them? Are you able to cut that?
Hello?
Hey.
Okay.
Alright, thank you.
Hmm.
I'm surprised that when I do screen share, even though I don't know if it's like a screen share on top of yours or something like that. But yeah, welcome everyone to Weekly VC. Apologize for the little bit of a late start there, and I know it's like most folks are in our DAO VC versus Portals, which is perfectly cool. I know Portals just seems kind of fun for us to jump into. I know Brink spent some time building a little obstacle course in here for those that want to mess around, and that feel free to go nuts. No official things on it yet, but just ideas for us to kind of create different fun things or little fun events and stuff for people. I know it's primarily for what, like parkour stuff. Brink, I don't know if you want me to like comment on it, but it's fun to mess around in
I will
Portals.
not confirm or deny the existence of the Bronklet.
The Bronklet, I love it. It's just gonna get like crazier and crazier every week. So for those of you that are interested or ever get bored, feel free to jump in, and I might as well jump into the DAO VC chat as well. But yeah, welcome to the DAO VC chat this week. It's our anniversary, so it's been very fun. I will apologize earlier. I know I couldn't make the like Portals event slash like little gathering. I know I think there were only a few people that kind of jumped in there. I know yesterday was kind of the bigger day for us, and Friday, of course, to just kind of get in and kind of get things kind of started. So it's been a crazy year, a great year. I think, from the Fox team, we certainly appreciate, the community, everything you guys have done for us, building in the space, becoming, essentially the trusted brand when it comes down to, NFT tooling and Solana, as well as, just the general, power that we really have as a community. I think, we're really looked up to from a lot of other projects that have kind of come into existence. I think that's really what we wanted to set, as an example. I mean, there's just so many different kinds of projects that exist in the space. Some that, probably shouldn't compared to others, but, I think ultimately trying to create something unique and provide value to the rest of the ecosystem, I think, is just well respected. And I think that's really what Foxes have created so far. We're a year in, and I know, all the cliche things of we're early, it's only a year in, and all that kind of fun stuff, but really it is. And we're looking forward to the next year and many more years, into the future. So shout out to the Foxes, shout out to those of you that have participated in our trivia game from yesterday that we had ran. It was done through Portals. That was quite fun and got really good feedback on it. So we probably will do some kind of, maybe monthly or something like that, either trivia game, or I know in the past we've done like treasure hunts, and I know Brink's having fun with the Bronklet, but just different kinds of activities that we can get people more involved with. Now that we're getting, we have a Portals, and I think metaverse things are starting to become a little bit more hotter in the space. I could see it being utilized more and just a fun thing for us to kind of get together and do. I know we used to do like game days and stuff like that, so it's definitely something to kind of keep a connection with the community, and at the same time, reward those that do join in. So prizes yesterday, everyone that attended had gotten at least a fame token, and then for the top 3 prizes, we gave away Foxy and a TFF. So shout out to the winners of that. And I don't know, Brink, I know when we talked about it before, I think there's a way we can post that trivia for those of you that are interested in playing that didn't have a chance to before. It's not easy, but that way if you want to kind of compete against each other and see who gets the best score, I don't think we'll really do anything with it, but just for fun for those of you that had missed out, I think there might be some interest there. But yeah, that's kind of the big thing for us this weekend is Fox's turning 1, so super stoked. But jumping into all the rest of our announcements here, so I might as well carry on with Fox's turning 1, and then I'll jump into quality of life after. So we have the 2 auctions that are up on Form Function, and actually let me jump in and grab a live snapshot on that real quick. but they've been doing quite well, actually. I was kind of surprised to see how quickly they were getting bid up on the FF++ Fox, just because there is a PNFT that's associated to that. So right now, of course, for the culture, that's at 420,690K Foxy, or 420,690 Foxy. And then for the Temple of Orange, it's still sitting at 177,770. So, yeah, so those are two auctions right now, and there is, like I mentioned, a PNFT that does exist for the FF++ Fox. So everyone that does bid on that is eligible to get that the PNFT. So just want to throw that out there. That's by KK Protocol, and it's fantastic. It's worth mentioning because I know we'll talk about it as well. So we kind of partner with Form Function for being able to do Foxy raffles. Foxy auctions. However, it will only exist for like this 2-week and some day period initially. So that it's kind of also like a little bit of a test, but at the same time, kind of seeing what their capabilities are as far as, SPL token and really kind of jumping in to see how they can kind of support projects at the same time. They know that we run these auctions and we've talked to them before for our Friends and Foes collection, so they were definitely interested in getting involved. And what I will say is that we do have the Gossip Goblin Fox, which I don't believe we've shown a teaser on, but that will be the next auction and the last one, at least for this set, that we do on Form Function. So that will be in 2 weeks, in a little under 2 weeks. But just to throw that out there as well. So for those of you that are Gossip Goblin fans, or Goblin Laboratory-esque, vibe to it, that will be the next one and the last one that we do, at least for this time period, in Form Function. So just want to throw that out there. Like I mentioned, we had a few parties in Portals. Hopefully everyone is having a good time with it. It's worth mentioning for anyone that does come into Portals. So Portals itself is, kind of very well self-contained, but there is a way, and it's kind of on purpose. I don't think it's like actually a glitch for you to be able to get outside of like just the box that exists for our Portals. So for those of you that come into our Portals, there is a like TV that's by one of the windows that gives you an instruction of like how to kind of get through the window, but there is like an upstairs area, and then the Bronclet is on the outside of our Portals. So just to kind of throw that out there for anyone that does jump into Portals, check out all the things that we have inside. Brink's done a fantastic job of decorating it, and then of course, he had to add in the Bronclet as well. So be sure to have as much fun with that as you can. And if you have questions about our Portals or Portals in general, I would say feel free to kind of shoot us questions. It is an Onyx for those of you that are curious. So if you're trying to gauge, the size of it, if you have a Portals or if you're looking at buying a Portals, hopefully that will kind of help out. So so have fun in our Portals. It'll stay open, all the time. I think if we ever decide to really do like heavy editing to it, we might put like a password on it. So if you try to access it, there's a password. It's really just going to mean that there's probably multiple people that are like involved in kind of building or changing things. But outside of that, I think for the most part, we've got perms to be able to build like little things and do modifications to it as we see fit, but we don't have to kind of set a password to it in order to do that. So you shouldn't have any issues accessing the Portals itself, with the exception of whatever kind of device you're using, of course, because I think it was Pugs that mentioned not being able to access it from mobile. And then it's also worth mentioning, so we've been running hourly raffles. So since Sol had gone down Friday night for a period of time, really into Saturday morning, we bumped all of our raffles that were set to end yesterday, technically throughout each hour of the day. We bumped them 24 hours. So along with a few other raffles that had happened, I think it was about 82 raffles in total that were impacted. So they're still running right now. They're going to be running for the next, the next 5-ish, maybe 6 hours, something like that. Maybe only 5 or 6 more left. So if you haven't had a chance to participate in them and you're interested, feel free to jump in, grab some tickets. It's been pretty interesting to kind of see the spread for which foxes or the individual items that have kind of had the most tickets purchased on them. I think it's kind of fun. It's something that we've been kind of talking about in the backside too, of like running these raffles versus like a larger scale raffle for the month and hosting them, just from our FFF account. So as that evolves, if we kind of like do officially go that route, we'll definitely let folks know. But in that way, it kind of gets more people involved in like our actual raffle site versus kind of running it through anything else. And we can gate raffles to holders. I know I did that for the first few. That's been one of the quality of life updates that Dev had implemented, I should say, into raffles. I believe it was starting actually last week, so I think I talked about it a little bit last week. But yeah, he's done a few pretty cool things for raffles. So, which I guess I can mention too, because then I'll just jump right into quality of life updates. But yeah, if you go to create a raffle, there is like an advanced button in there that you can now click, and it gives you the option to put, first off, to make it gated to holders of up to 3 different collections. So there is a document that's provided as well, but essentially what you want to do is find the NFT collection that you want to actually gate that raffle to, and then under the creators, if you're looking on SoulScan as an example, there's a drop down in there for the creators. You'll have the Candy Machine ID, and then you'll also have the creator of the specific NFT itself as the wallet. It's most likely the same as the update authority. If by chance the update authority had changed, like if someone had bought a project or something like that, it could be a different address, but that doesn't matter in either case. But you just want to grab either the Candy Machine ID or the creator ID for the NFT, or if there's multiple creators, any of the creators, and drop that address in there. There's up to 3 different ones you can select, and that will gate it to that collection. So as an example, for Famous Foxes, there's a specific wallet in there. You grab that ID, you paste it in there, only Famous Fox holders, so the wallet specifically that has a Famous Fox in it can buy those tickets. So that's how that works with gating. And again, you can do that for any collection that exists out there. There are a few other options that exist in there as well. There's a maximum number of tickets that you can adjust if you'd like to, and there is another option as well, but it escapes me. Let me just jump in here real quick. It is the number of winners. So if you were doing whitelist spots, as an example, you can now have a number of winners for a raffle. So if you wanted to do, 1,000, 100, 10,000, really whatever you want to do, you can pick as many winners as you want from the raffle, which is pretty cool. So those are features you can enable. There is a fee for you running an advanced only, and so in here, holder-only raffles cost 1 soul. That's withdrawn at the time of creation. If you have a staked FFF or TFF, that does get cut in half. So it is worth mentioning that anyone that is planning on running those raffles, project, individual, what have you, you can certainly just jump in there, and as long as you have an FFF or TFF, you get half off for doing those. Cool. Let's see. Continuing on with raffles, so we did enable the ability that raffles itself remembers search and feed filters until you close the page. Now there have been times where folks have mentioned like refreshing the page and it still keeps that data in there. So I think that's one of the things that I have to double check on if that's still, let me just double check this real quick. I know that we were talking about making sure to kind of update that so when you refresh it, it does go away. Yeah. It does. Okay, perfect. So it doesn't happen anymore. But yeah, it does remember your search raffles, your filter sorts, as you're kind of going back and forth from pages. It is super, super helpful for those of you that are kind of like poking around, especially for myself when like checking raffles for like flagging and all that kind of fun stuff. But I know it's been like a pain for some people, so we've now added that in to make life easier. We did also enable Soul. I'm trying to think of the day we did that. I think it was Friday. Was it Friday or? Yeah, I think it was Friday. So now you can use Sol as the base currency for a raffle if you are interested. There is a current bug right now that shows under the transactions, it has a multiple amount in there for the number of Sol tokens. I'm sorry, the number of Sol tickets that were sold. That is, I believe it's 10x. So I'm looking into that to try and figure out why that is. But we'll get that fixed shortly. But just so that folks are aware, it's not actually selling more tickets. It's just like a decimal place is off. So worth mentioning. And I think that's it for raffle. Continuing on with Foxy Tools, TMI had an overhaul, so Winner did an awesome job with that, and that's where you're able to now burn NFTs from there, and you can bulk burn as well. So just be careful with selecting. Make sure you're only selecting the ones you want to burn. It cannot be undone. So like it's I'll call it a little bit of a dangerous tool, but at the same time, it's super, super helpful, especially for folks that keep getting, scam NFTs and all that kind of fun stuff and tokens and such. So you can take care of all that through TMI. So I think that's been super, super helpful, and we've gotten great feedback on it so far. So shout out to Winter for sure. And then I think the last tool. Oh no, actually there's two in here. So we've got the token market that we have, lets you favorite tokens, and you can also list directly from the listings modal. And you can just filter for whitelist tokens as well if you were just trying to find whitelist tokens. So quite a few updates in the token market, just essentially to make your experience better. And if you do have any feedback, because it does seem like the token market meta is kind of at least starting back up, feel free to send us comments and suggestions for how we can kind of improve that experience. I think that's one of the things where it's been so long since it's kind of like really ramped up. Was there a comment there? Nope. Okay, cool. And I'm more than happy to, if people do have questions or comments, feel free to jump in. I know I'll check Discord after I kind of run through some of these. The last comment in here too for at least our tools, Fame Leaderboard now aggregates listings from all marketplaces. I think before it was only Magic Eden, but now we do grab them from every marketplace that exists. So if you're trying to find a Fox, I think that's probably the best way of searching for a Fox right now, especially if you're looking for them based off of their stats. And yeah, so you can grab them from any marketplace that exists. And then we do have one item in here for an update from Boombox. It lets you view collections on your artist profiles. We have been notified too that I think right now artists can only create one collection as it stands, but that's just a thing we have to fix. So that way artists can have multiple collections that exist in there, because collections are kind of almost like an album, if you will, where you can have individual songs like within that collection. So it's almost like they're curating their own collection / playlist / I don't know, like music experience, if you will. So I think right now it only lets them create one, but we're working on getting that updated so they can create more than one collection. The way you check it out is if you just go to an individual artist, their profile itself, you'll see a tab in there for collection. You can click on that, and then based off of how they associate songs into that collection, you can kind of like listen through, and if any of them are listed, you can purchase them right from there as well. So I think that's a pretty dope update. If you haven't checked it out, I would highly recommend checking it out. I think it's a pretty cool way for musicians to kind of curate their own playlists for folks that want to kind of check out their music and their talent. So that's all the quality of life updates from this week. Yeah, and I went through everything for parties and such. Missions are live. So we did announce at least the special gift that you guys get. So just as a heads up, any Fox mission that exists for our Fox anniversary mission, it requires level 20 plus Fox, any kind of Fox. and you do get a lot of fame from it, 12K fame. There's no chest reward, so just to throw that out there, I know there's going to be a lot of people that say, hey, I set my Fox on Foxiversary and didn't get a chest. There's no chest reward for it, and instead we do have an anniversary print, which was created by Niaman, and I have to double check with Dev. So the way that the actual banner was created, or I'll say banners were created, was to kind of make them modular, so they can kind of be placed next to each other in any fashion that they want to be, and it kind of create one long banner. And I even had her go as far as to make them so the individual banners essentially could fit quite well in Twitter. So you'll kind of see the positions for foxes and things are in such a way that when you have it on Twitter, you might have to kind of shrink it and get to like the perfect spot for you, but your profile picture shouldn't ever go on like top of a fox or anything along those lines. It shouldn't really take away from the banner itself. So just wanted to throw that out there, the way that those were created. I know I know that it doesn't have every single fox that exists in the collection. It really was more of a nod to the OGs and folks that really have kind of been with us really from day one, that we wanted to, or day one or early days, that we wanted to include in the banner. And there's quite a few on there. I actually don't know if I have the full list in front of me. I do not, of the foxes that we included in there, but it was pretty fun chatting about the idea and getting those foxes included in there. It was no small feat from Niaman either, so huge shout out to her. And hopefully you guys kind of enjoy the banners and play around with them. And they aren't going to be part of a collection. I know Dev put a comment in there that you can't dump them on bozos. It really was just something that we wanted to do special for foxes to kind of commemorate. And there's only going to be a certain amount of them that exist as well. So I think it's kind of fun. I know I sent every fox that I have out on that mission this week. So looking forward to getting a bunch of those back. yeah, because Mama Fox is the general this week. But yeah, outside of that, the other missions that exist, we've got any eyewear level 20 plus, Viking level 25, a single Viking level 25 plus. We've got 2 school shirts and level 20 plus. And we've got a Monster Trainer level 22 plus and Monster Trainer Den, and then a Beard Stash, 2 Beard Stash boxes level 25 plus and a Beard Den. So tried to go a little easier on the leveling, just to kind of get some more folks that might not have high level foxes into some of these missions, and including the level 20 any fox for our special mission to get a bunch of fame. So hopefully we get a lot of foxes in there to get them to level up. And then I think the last thing I have in here, if I'm not mistaken, really was just a comment on the raid that we had. So I was surprised that it went all the way basically until the end for it to launch. So I don't think those foxes are coming back for another 3 days, I believe, for the raid. So for anyone that does have their crown foxes in there, just crown foxes 1 of 1, anything along those lines, just make sure you don't forget to replace those into another mission, just because it is going to be a later time from coming back from it. So it's worth throwing out there. And I'm just gonna mute you real quick, Topper. Sorry. But yeah, I think that's really everything that I had on here. Let me just double check and make sure I didn't skip over anything. Yeah, I think that was all I had. Let me jump in and check out if there are any questions or if anybody has anything they'd like to ask or what have you. Link to Portals Tiv is in events. Oh, Taco got me. Thank you, Taco. And let's see, I've got pinged 31. Yeah, you guys are having fun in Portals. Ooh, the winner Poet just posted the winner that got the Monster Trainer Fox had only 1 ticket. DHAV, if that sounds like it's a familiar wallet of yours. Congratulations. Dan Kishu's got 40 chests. There was a ping in here from me. I don't know if I've seen it. My mic is shit. Thanks, Brink. Thanks for telling me that now. Alright. Not seeing anything in Fox Discord. Let's jump in portals. Alright, we've got a lot of people dancing around. Sneederman is the goat, that is true. Alright, perfect. I don't have any questions in here. Are there yeah, that sounds right. Any questions for me? If not, I mean, I don't mind cutting it a little short here.
Hey, Drac.
If you guys want to mess around in portals, yes, sir.
Since we're dancing around in portals, do you have any updates on the 3D Foxes? We might have talked about it yesterday, but I think I missed it.
Yeah, no. Great question. Question is if there's any update on the 3D Foxes. Yeah, so where we stand right now is that they are, I'll say, like, finalizing the rigs for portals first. I think the first metaverse they'll be ready for is portals and the unlockables, so that way you guys can kind of mess around with them in like any 3D software of your choosing, like Adobe Aero as an example, or Blender, or Mixamo. I don't know if I have an ETA for that. I should ping them just to kind of get an update. But that's where we stood. I believe it was Wednesday, because we were asking them to see what the update was prior to our Foxiversary. But what I will say is, yeah, we have, so all the artwork is done for the 3D Foxes. We've gone through like a few different rigging processes. It's a little bit challenging with the 3D Foxes because if you think about it, like creating a full 3D generative collection is quite a bit different than a 2D collection of just stacking layers. And so there's like a little bit of like refining that goes into it, and yeah, it hasn't been a quick, easy, or cheap process, to be honest with you. But we are getting dangerously close to having them. So, and what I will say too is the folks that are helping us out with them, the guys from Funguys, they are involved with the Builder DAO for portals. So I know they are. They've got some decent connections, at least for, I would say, kind of making it like a higher priority of getting Foxes kind of finalized for at least for the metaverse side, and which I know is like a little bit of a different undertaking. It's kind of two different pieces to it, but yeah, that's what I would say. I would say we're dangerously close to having Foxes, at least in portals and the downloadable files.
I had a question regarding the anniversary den, the Temple of Orange.
Yeah, sure. There's a question about the Temple of Orange in DAO VC. Go ahead, Solid.
So I'm interested in it, but how many rooms are in it? Usually on form function, you can set up the traits in the auction info. I was just curious because I don't see the traits on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that is a great question. So the question is, how many rooms are associated with that den? I will say, let me double check if I have it. I don't know if I have the original token in this wallet here.
Wouldn't all the unique dens have the max 6 rooms?
I think it is 6. Yeah, I think it is 6. I just don't want to mislead anyone. I'd probably even go as far as to say if there isn't 6 in it, I think Dev would create another one with 6 and burn it, but let me just make sure. Yeah, I believe it's 6. I'll say it's 6. If it's not 6, it should be 6. So we'll kind of figure out a way to get that resolved if that's not the case.
I also had a question about the auction in 2 weeks with the gossip the gossip auction.
Yep.
So
Question
are you
about gossip. Yeah. Question about the gossip auction as well. Go ahead.
are you guys gonna do a den paired with that too?
You know what? I don't think we had originally intended to do a den paired with it. I think it more so was like for our anniversary we wanted to do a fox and a den just to kind of essentially commemorate it. But the Gossip Goblin Fox 2 kind of does still kind of count as a Famous Fox Friends and Foes piece. So I think as of right now, I think we're just looking at the 3 as a total. The Den and Fox that ends within the next 24 hours, less than that. And then Gossip Goblin as being kind of a separate one. So like in theory, when we were first talking about like getting involved with Form Function, we were kind of thinking about us being able to do like all the Friends and Foes collection in there. I think they just want to kind of really test the waters with what we're doing first, and then so that's why we have these 3 auctions up first, or that we'll have these 3 through their platform. So like in the future, it would just be the regular Friends and Foes foxes that we run like through either Form Function or the platform we were using before, Metaplex. But yeah, so as of right now, we don't have a den paired with that. Hopefully that that answers your question. I think it does, but yeah, if you have any other follow up on that too, let me know. A question in DAO-VC chat: will 3D foxes match our FFF fox traits? They will. What I will say is this is for Magic Fox. It's just going to match, at least for this initial one, and I'm not quite sure how we're planning on, if we are planning on handling in the future. It will only match your original FFF Fox. It will not match the upgrades. So as it stands, we just have all the 3D assets for the original FFF collection, including the one-of-ones. So one-of-ones are their own pieces, and then the rest of the collection was generated as the rest of the collection metadata exists. Yeah, and that's kind of part of the challenge with making sure like everything's right for like a metaverse. So if you think about it, for foxes, we really actually, so fun fact for folks that might think this is boring, we have 2 like base foxes. We've got foxes that have regular sized ears, and then foxes that in theory have like small or no ears, so that way helmets and hats and certain things will like fit the fox better and it doesn't clip through. But those 2 like fox models themselves have to match the rig of the metaverse that you are building that into. Sometimes the metaverse has its own rig, but depending on what it looks like, for the most part it's like humanoid. It does kind of make the fox look goofy, because then the fox has like long legs, whereas like they're not really meant to be that way. So we kind of have to make like a custom rig for that specific metaverse, or have them make a rig that we can then use, or us send the fox models, them rig it, and then we kind of create a script for compiling them. But the cool part about it is, at the end of the day, once you have those 2 models for foxes rigged, you could basically create, and I know I'm making this sound a lot easier than what it actually is, a script where it just adds the accessories for the fox that you own based off of its metadata, and it lets you connect and use that fox in that metaverse. So people can't just, copy a 101 fox and use it in the metaverse, or copy your fox or save your fox file and use that in the metaverse in the same way. If you're building a metaverse, you could have a way of importing that as like a model and like playing around with it. If you've like bought a fox before, downloaded the model, and then basically sold the fox, but you won't actually be able to use that fox like as your avatar, if that makes sense. Long leg collection would be wild. I'll find a picture of something that someone else had messed around with to share that looks awfully scary. So it's not an official thing, and I'm sure people will throw it up on Twitter as like FUD or what have you. But it looks absolutely hysterical. Yeah. But Brink did comment in the chat in Portals that the completion of the Brunklet rewards you with a chest. So I know there aren't many people that are in portals. Well, actually we got 18 in there. I guess got a good bit. But I know there's some folks that are in our DAO VC that are not in portals that might be interested in a chest. But you'll have fun with it, and I think some people have rage quit, so it's not easy, just to throw it out there. Let's see, are there any other questions? If not, I do still plan, I know I mentioned it before, but I do still plan on doing 3 chests for kind of a giveaway / fun prize thing. It will only be for 3 foxes that are in portals, just because that's an easier way for me to keep track of people. You know, if I pick you, you're not going to want it anyway.
I know, but I like to win.
So I had another question.
That's okay. Go ahead, Solid.
So I bought a unique room not even a while back, like a couple weeks ago, and I was curious because I didn't know much about dens at the time. Is there a way I'll be able to renovate that room into some other den if I find a den that I like more, or is it completely destroyed from the supply?
No, great question. Yeah, so when you do attach a room to a den, that room is associated with that den. Anytime that you replace that room with another room, it destroys the original one. So you won't be able to get that token back. I'll say unfortunately or fortunately, but the good part about it is if you find another den that you would rather have that doesn't have that token, having that token I think kind of boosts the value of the den that you already have. So you might be able to extract more value out of the one you have and perhaps purchase another token, or get most of the way to getting another unique token for that other den. Or if you get lucky enough and someone lists a den that doesn't realize the tokens that are associated to it, you might be able to get a den for cheaper. I know I think I scooped one that had an orange origin room, not terribly long ago, for 7 something. So every once in a while they pop up that are pretty cheap. I think right now the cheapest was 12 that I had seen. But yeah, the question was around if you have a unique room in a den. If you got another den, can you just move that room to another? And the answer would be no, unfortunately. yeah. Brink gave you the short answer of you can't get it back. All right. Are there any other questions? If not, folks that are in the portals, I'll give a couple of minutes if you are able to come upstairs. I think we'll do what we did last time, Brink, and have folks line up upstairs in a single file line that may or may not work up on the roof. Yeah, on the roof.
Oh, I can't get out on the roof.
You'll be able to get out on the roof. And then we'll pick some folks for treasure chests. But yeah, for the folks that are in just the DAO VC, if you want to hang around and just hear what the prizes are that we end up giving out, feel free to just hang around while everyone here kind of gets sorted in some kind of a line fashion as we holler at people. And I love the name of someone in here that's just Press L. Treasure, yeah. We're gonna give out prizes for 3 different chests here. I'm actually gonna see if I can. Let's see, random number generator, perfect. And I gotta figure out how many people we have. We're up to wrong thing. 21. All right.
Hold on. People are trying to get on the roof. I'm helping.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm going to switch my screen share to be... Yeah, I think window. If I do window, this one. Alright, disregard all my... Actually, I don't have too much tabs in. Did you get it? Alright, Mama Fox got it, so... If she can get it, anyone can get it. Wrecked. But yeah, I'll give a couple of minutes. We'll do 8:45 my time, so we'll give 3 minutes for folks to get upstairs. Feel free to party around. And I probably should have asked Brink for what his playlist is to throw that up in the background, see if that would actually play some background music in the meantime.
Drax, are we gonna get a critters mission?
Stand here and press L on the window, and you'll go through it.
Ooh, that's I don't know, Brink, if you heard that question. The question was, are we gonna get a critters mission? Maybe. I will say maybe. I don't know when, but I will say maybe. Alright, let me see here. Random number generator. I don't know if this will actually play. Yeah, you like the dancing floor. Songs that make you dance. This is hilarious. Alright, I'll just throw this on. Can you guys hear that, Brink, or
Nope.
no? I didn't think so. Yeah, it's weird. You have to share the whole screen, I think, for it to take the audio, so I'll just
There's an option when you share. It says share tab audio.
Yeah, is it?
Try doing it by tab, not by sharing your screen.
Yeah, let me see how I have this set up here. I gotcha. Yeah, but then the problem is I have to go back and forth between tabs, so we'll just keep this up. Only got a minute left.
Solid, are you trying to get to the roof?
Solid, you working on getting to the roof?
He's just standing there menacingly.
He's probably just basking in all the glory that exists.
Staring at the ramp. I think you went AFK.
Alright, let's see.
Oh, he's coming back. He's moving. Okay, wrong, hot, cold. Warmer.
Are you gonna jump in line, or are you just hanging on the side?
I'm in line.
Warmer.
You are in line?
Yeah.
What line are
window.
you in?
I'm next to
Come to the window.
people on the end.
Yeah.
The cube in
There's
the
a
middle.
line, and then there's you.
L.
I was in the line.
Press L. You don't have to jump. There you go. You got it. Might have to scoot a little bit more to your left. Look right to the middle. You almost press L.
No.
L on your keyboard. L. You did it.
Alright, that should be
Oh
good
wait,
enough.
someone else joined. Okay, now run up the stairs. You can hold shift to run, by the way. Shift to run, by the way. Shift to run, by the way. Oh,
What a
Jim, did you
chest.
fall off the roof?
Yeah, this is our main. Well, I don't know if it's our main account, but this is one of the
Okay.
accounts that have chests.
That's everybody.
All right, we've got everybody. So let's see, how many do we have in
There's
line?
no one else waiting downstairs.
WRD, you're just dancing up in the middle of nowhere, so you're not gonna get counted in a line. 2, 3. All right, perfect. All right, I'm gonna count this as, and press L. You're also not in line if you want to be eligible. Get in line. All right, perfect.
Someone else just joined.
Alright, well I'm going to count everyone besides us, so let me swap this over. We've got 23.
There's one left.
Yep. And let me just see if I can see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 21. Alright, so I see 21 in line, I think.
21?
21? Did you say that someone else was coming in?
What's with the ding noises that you're hearing? It's like people
Yeah.
joining and leaving, but no one was downstairs.
Yeah, but they're slackers. I said I was going to start 2 minutes ago.
Gig.
All right,
Name.
so we'll put 25 in here. All right, let's see, and I'm gonna count. So I am on the big screen side, and I'm counting left, starting with Jim the Dev, and ending with press L, plus whoever ends up coming up the stairs. So, all right, 24. And let's grab our first person, number 10. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Tina, you are number 1. Let me just jot you down. All right, let's grab Lucky Fox number 2. Ooh, that's number 1, Jim the Dev. That is you.
Thank you.
Don't thank me, thank the random number gods.
Thank you, random number guys.
Friend Jesus.
Alright, looks like we have to drop this down to 23 now. And we got number 20. Alright, so 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 is Dre. Alright. Dre is lucky number 3. So, without further ado, let's jump into some chests. Alright, refresh the page. Hopefully it lets me connect my wallet. That would suck if it doesn't. There you go. Alright, one chest at a time. Tina, you are up first. Let's see what you get. Ooh, Mama Fox said Foxy. She's jinxing it. $753 Foxy.
Sorry.
She also said sorry. Alright, Jim the Dev, you are next. Let's see what you get.
We can use this next time. That'd be easier.
We use what?
Look what I'm standing on.
Oh, I like that. I'm not even looking at my screen to see what you got.
Fox.
More Foxy.
Thank you.
Of course, 984 Foxy. You're welcome. Alright, last chest for Dre. $904 Foxy. Man, that's 2 weeks in a row we've only given out Foxy. To tell Dev to rig better prizes for Sunday. But yeah, I like that idea next time, Brink, of a little list there. Alright, well I'll stop sharing my screen. I don't know, Brink, if you wanna share some music to get the vibe going. We got 20 some people in here. You got the Bronclet. I don't know if anybody wants to try their hand at the Bronclet. It starts at the top of the stairs behind the hedges, I believe. There's a bit of a parkour course that starts there. It's also dark. I don't know if that's intentional or not, Bronc. But like Brink said, the prize is for folks that complete it chest. So it is not easy.
Maybe at the cost of your sanity and or keyboard.
You have to jump like a lot of things to get to it. It's not just jump off the roof. It may cost you your sanity, that is correct. But I'm going to drop off of DAO VC chat, so thanks everyone for coming in. Like I always say, feel free to DM me if you have any questions, comments, concerns. Again, happy first anniversary to Foxes. And so many, many more. And yeah, looking forward to pushing out some more fun shit and getting, some 3D Foxes soon. And kind of changing it up with some more fun metaverse stuff. So have a good rest of your Sunday night, and we'll talk to you guys soon.